Hello, everyone. Excuse me, just had to clear my throat at a really bad time. All right, so today we are doing a horror villains and monsters tier list. So we are ranking them in order of how how afraid we are of them. So I like to call it a fear list. And this is great timing because his return, the return of Owen Quinn, he's back, ladies and gentlemen, after all this time.
'Tis I. I have returned from from the mountains of Norway, fighting trolls, sailing the seven seas, squealing like a woman in a cable car. I am. I don't do height, you see, and it tricked me to getting into a cable car, and it was the worst experience of my life.
Oh my god.
Awful,
I am terrible with
awful.
heights as well. Absolutely dreadful.
Uh, I closed my eyes closed all the way up, and I had to run into the toilet, and
Oh.
then on the way down. I closed my eyes and videoed it just to prove that I'd done it, and then sort of half opened them part of the way down and seen it was a 1 week cable, and I just went, I'm gonna die. I am gonna die. They're gonna find me lying up a Norwegian mountain with two crutches, frozen solid. Can't do it.
But you made it.
But I made it. It's awesome. Really, really a spectacular country. Really is. It's absolutely beautiful.
Yeah.
But yeah, a few hair-raising experiences, shall we say? Didn't think I was going to make it in some of them, but sure.
You
On
did.
the
You
all
made it.
involved night, I did. I'm back, and we're going to face some villains.
We're going to face some villains today. Yeah, so we have a list of 10 villains. Owen has no idea what's on this list, so he's not prepared.
Well,
He's only back in the door from his holiday and he has to get his
literally.
get his head in the game.
You see my troll photos?
I did. Yeah, they were
You
awesome.
I wanted to take them home with me, but I wasn't allowed.
Oh,
But sure.
they were so cool. You should have pinched one.
Do you know what? I tried to, but I couldn't get it on the bus, and she wouldn't let me. So I'd have probably been arrested halfway up that mountain before we even got to the fjords. I did see the clips that Tom Cruise dangled off in Mission Impossible 6. That's part of the tour
Oh, brilliant.
in Stavanger. But there you go.
That's awesome.
So who's our first villain?
Right. So how this works is we will be will I'll give Owen a villain, and then we're gonna rank that villain or monster by how afraid of them we are. So you have
Yeah.
S tier, which is the scariest of the scary of the scary. You have A, which is really really scary, pretty damn scary. You have B, where they're fairly frightening. Yeah, be fairly afraid of them. C, kind of middling, little scary, little intimidating, but not overly. And then D, not really scared of them at all. So if a character gets a D, that doesn't necessarily mean they're a bad character. It just means we're not particularly frightened of them. So it's all very subjective. All right.
Mm-hmm.
And let us know in the comments how you would have ranked these villains in order of scariness. So up first, Owen, we have the legendary Michael Myers. How
Terrifying. Terrifying.
right.
Terrifying. There's only one word for Michael Myers. Did you know I was in a podiatrist one day and we were talking about Michael Myers and she thought I was talking about Austin Powers? I says, get away from my foot now, you heathen. And go and look up YouTube.
Oh
Michael
my.
Myers was my first um, true terrifying thing. I think Halloween, the original Halloween,
Yeah.
um, was the best because, ironically, because he doesn't. It's just this mask, and he could be in your wardrobe, or he could just walk into your house,
Yeah.
as you've seen in the movies, pick up a knife and walk back out again. You never know he's there, or he
Yeah.
could kill you on the way out.
And it's that
And there's
whole
not.
just that whole blank face, lack of expression, lack of
Yeah,
remorse. You can't reason with him. It is pretty frightening.
he's almost Terminator.
Yeah.
And of the horror movie franchises, and the William Shatner mask for Captain Kirk,
Yeah.
and it sells it. It sells it so well. It's the silence, and he never talks. I don't think he's ever talked, has he? In any of the movies? Um,
There's in one of the Rob Zombie ones, I think there's a deleted scene where he speaks, but they got rid of
well, I
it.
even imagine Rob Zombie. I don't know what Rob Zombie was doing, but it wasn't Michael Myers. Crap, that's what that was.
It certainly
But then,
it certainly doesn't
yeah,
touch
but
the
it,
original.
no, it does not. But then, even the Jamie Lee Curtis trilogy, the latest ones, weren't that good either, which was really surprising.
Mm,
What a terrible end to the entire trilogy. But it's that first. It's the it's everything. It's the starting in the gloom, and you can still see the white of the face or the glint of the knife. And when he kills somebody, there's no blood, no gore, and
it's the
that.
atmosphere.
Yeah, it's the whole thing set up so well. And when you look at the making of that movie and the budget they had, which was nil,
Yeah,
that's a hell of an accomplishment
yeah,
for a guy in a boiler suit and a William Shatner mask. It's been whitened up. It's
yeah.
Michael for me has always been the top. Freddie can't even touch him.
Right.
Can't even touch him.
All right. So how do you rank? I think I know where you're gonna go with this. So how do you
Oh,
rank Michael Myers?
oh, that's an S.
S tier
S
for.
tier. What do you think of him?
I would tend to agree with a lot of that. Yeah. Um, would I put him in S? He's certainly at least an A for me. I think you're right about everything you've said. Um, maybe not quite S because there's just some that I would just put above in terms of how afraid I would be of them. But
Mm,
he's certainly at least an A, if not like a high A. So
yeah,
I'm gonna go A for Michael Myers. Um,
I think it also depends on when you've seen them
yeah,
because I can't.
exactly. Yeah, yeah,
It's also it's the first. It's almost like the first Doctor Who you grew up with. It's what was the first real horror movie when you're at that age
yeah,
that made the impression scared you. And that was for me Halloween. To this day, I will watch all year round, Christmas and Easter included.
yeah,
But because it's so flawless, and it's all down to that thing that just won't stop you. Like
yeah.
obviously, I'm screwed. I'd have been killed in the first fucking scene. With my first leg, my wee fake leg, and I wouldn't get far in the wheelchair.
You know what? You could
But
take off your leg and batter him with it.
I could do that. I could do Silver Bullet. Do that the motorized wheelchair would be good one. No, he'd still catch me. It'd be my luck. But yeah, it's for me. Michael Myers is just
Yeah,
the king.
he's certainly very very intimidating, and
Yeah,
the film
yeah.
is just a masterclass in atmosphere.
Do you know what I'm just realizing actually when you say that?
Well,
It's the character's reactions to him. Do you know what we were talking about? His no facial expression or voice or anything. It's the fear of the characters and their reaction to him
yeah,
that makes it scarier. Like even the kids running into the street screaming in the first one. All right,
yeah,
that's it.
and how
That it,
and listening to Doctor Loomis talk about him, you can tell he's fucking terrified of him.
yeah. Well, he would fucking scare ghost that one anyway.
Yeah.
Fucking, I would seen him coming to closing the door.
All right, that's our first villain. Nice start. We
Mm,
got a very very scary Michael Myers, S tier, and a very high A tier.
yeah,
Um,
Michael Myers 1978 version.
exactly. All right, next we got a clown, a scary clown. We have Pennywise. Pennywise. Now, when you're ranking this as well, you can consider all the different versions and the book and kind of accumulate them, if you know what I mean. Like, just
Has Welcome to Derry started yet?
I don't think so.
Don't
I'll,
think so. I'm for
I'm not
that.
sure. Yeah,
That's interesting. Pennywise is scary, scary, scary. But um,
now consider
I'm
like so some people might be like oh, this person's not that scary, that person's not that scary, but consider if they were real and you had to really deal with these things, how fucking scary you would find it. And
I'd find that the new version scarier than the old version. But is it Bill Skarsgård? Is
yeah, I think Bill
that
Skarsgård
him?
is great. I think he does a really good job.
He, Tim Curry is brilliant. Don't I will not take that away from him. Tim Curry is really great, especially when you turn the mouth full of teeth from the funny clown thing.
Yeah,
But there's just something about the Skarsgård thing. Um,
yeah,
like that scene in the second one with the little girl with the strawberry birthmark in her face. he calls her in under the seats and we're going to play a game or something. But you know what's coming, and he drags it out, and you're sitting waiting for it to happen.
Yeah.
And even when it happens, you just jump out of your seat. I just think there's something that is a bit more sinister and freakish, monsterish about Pennywise version 2 than version 1, which is still very good because that's what set it was up there with Salem's Lot. But Pennywise, yeah. But no offense to you, if I'm walking past a water drain and there's somebody calling from it, I'm walking on.
Yeah.
Good luck to you. So if it's a poor innocent person stuck there, you may ring somebody else because I'm not going near it. Especially if my name's Georgie.
There you go. Own the hero. He's just gonna leg
Oh,
it.
on here. I have battled trolls. I have been over the Norwegian mountains of snow and ice.
All right. So if Pennywise was real and in your area,
Yeah.
how scary would you find him?
I would say version 2 would be an A
Okay, cool.
because there's that anticipation, and it's just something the way he does it in the performance, which is freaky.
Mm,
You know, it's not normal, even when he's trying to be sort of normal to torture them.
yeah.
Whereas Tim Curry's sort of the friendly clown until he's not. He switches very, very beautifully from good to bad. But there's just something on Skarsgård's that's gives it the edge for me.
Yeah. All right. So we go A for Pennywise all round.
For Pennywise, yeah.
I'm gonna go with S just because he's so fucking powerful and there's so much he can do to you. I think the concept's pretty horrifying. Yeah, so I'm gonna give him an S. S for Pennywise. All versions kind of rolled into one. We'll say comes to an S.
Yeah.
The
Apart
book.
from the spider version.
Yeah. we,
Let's not talk about the
we won't.
ending.
Yeah, we won't go into that. All right, so we have like S and A for you, the first one, and then A and S for me for the second one. So
Yeah.
awesome.
We're neck and neck.
Yeah, neck and neck. All right, next we have from all the way from Camp Crystal Lake, we have Jason Voorhees.
Big J himself.
Big J himself.
The man that brought blood and gore to the horror screen.
Yeah,
And that's
yeah,
what
yeah.
made that's what made Halloween gory, because Jason came along and went, "Oh, we're missing something. Let's get the blood and guts out."
Yeah, I think
Uh,
they sussed that people like the blood and gore.
yeah. Jason is see, anybody comes at you with a machete would be scary.
It's pretty fucking
Again,
scary.
you're sort of like, he has killed a disabled person.
Yeah,
Let's not remember that. He like hit him in the head with an axe
yeah,
and threw him down the stairs in his wheelchair.
yeah.
That's not. Do you know what I mean? So
That's not a
I'm
good
sort of
dude.
agreed. No. So again, I would be out in the first scene. I go, for fuck's sake, not again. Jason is also a kind of Terminator.
Yeah.
I know he's looking for. Is he looking for his mommy, or he's played by his mommy?
His mother
No, he's not.
influences him, like he hears her voice in his
Aye.
head, yeah. And she's like, Jason,
And then
killed him.
and then she dies, and then he comes back. He comes in the second one, isn't it?
Yeah.
She got her head chopped off. Yeah.
Yeah. So,
Jason's relentless.
so there'll obviously be spoilers for everything. So just
Yeah.
keep that in
But if you
mind.
have,
It is.
well, if the viewers haven't seen it by now, seriously, people, where have you been?
Yeah, exactly. But yeah, she dies in the first one, and then Jason comes back in the second one for revenge.
And back.
He's back
and
like
back.
you.
I say it's a bigger return to me.
So what would you give Jason?
He's the relentless one,
Yeah.
but it's the scary one because again, you don't hear him coming.
Yeah.
But in the, I mean, I'm not really looking at the space one where he became a cyborg and stuff, but even the reboot with Sam from Supernatural, what was his name, Jared Padalecki. That was quite an interesting take on Jason, I thought, because this Jason in that version was very much thinking and planning and could move faster than normal, and it was a slight different take, which I thought was quite interesting.
Yeah.
But seeing the fact Jason can get about, you're sort of looking at what's under the mask, which we've seen a couple of times. At his heart, Jason is a child, a lost child,
Yeah,
which Freddy versus Jason really tried to exploit and destroy him with.
yeah,
So there's certain sympathy with Jason. At the same time, I don't do Crystal Camp Lakes or whatever you call them, Crystal Lake Camp,
yeah.
or
You,
I wouldn't
yeah,
camp for nobody. Sorry,
yeah. You wouldn't see me hanging around in that sort of environment. So
no.
considering that, I might lower his score.
Oh, here, actually, do you know what? I have a Norway story about that. We went on one of the fourth excursion we went on. Lunch was beside a big lake, and it was a camping area. It wasn't called Crystal Lake, but it was a big camping area, and all these like you know the the Norwegian houses are all like, oh, I can't even describe them, but they're
Yeah.
different. And you just stood at the thing and you looked at the lake, and there was a pier leading out to the lake. I thought, here we go. This is it. There's a pier going out to the lake. The lake's just stunning. The mountains are stunning. There's rocks everywhere. And I thought, plenty of places to die. I said, I'm like, get me back on the bus, get me home. But yeah, it's sort of, it was very much a Crystal Lake feeling.
Yeah.
Not that I was thinking about Jason, but when you look at it and it's a camping area, it's a remote area. Um, and then when you see the rocks and stuff where they're supposed to be sleeping trolls, you can feel the atmosphere of the country
Yeah.
and its legends. But you saw it, there's a lot of driving around Norway. But that particular spot, if you're ever going to try and do a Norwegian version of Friday the 13th, that was the very place to do it.
Awesome. So great
Very
spot.
good. Yeah, really, really nice. Beautiful. Beautiful.
Right. So what are you going to give Jason Voorhees?
Uh, Jason the Bee.
I'm thinking the same just because of like
You feel
um
sorry for him.
you feel a bit sorry for him and just the whole like hopefully he wouldn't want to come after me because I'm not like those scummy camp counselors. And
Well, see, but that
I'd
was
stay
it.
away from Crystal Lake. And
Yeah.
if I'd seen him on the streets of Manhattan, I would avoid him.
Oh, no, I'd be the first taxi. No, no, I agree. It's sort of like it was the fault of the counselor, what do you call them?
The camp
Counselors at
counselors, yeah.
those camps. Um, that he died in the first place, and they kick-started the whole thing.
Yeah.
So it's not really Jason's fault. So I would say B.
I will go the same. We'll both go B for Jason.
Mm. Yeah,
For Big Jace.
we like Big J.
All right. Up next, all the way from Ireland, we have the Leprechaun.
Do you know what I thought you were going to say there?
Oh
Raw
no!
head wreck.
Oh, that'd be a good one to put on. Yeah. Well, there's certainly
It's
enough.
on.
There's certainly enough horror villains to do this a few times, so we might pop him on the next one.
Leprechaun. We Warwick Davis.
Yeah.
I actually did an article for somebody about this not that long ago
No way.
for for Belfast or EasterCon in Belfast. No, it's science fiction one I was telling you about.
Hmm.
Um, Leprechaun doesn't scare me at all.
Yeah.
It's
Well,
it's very much
especially considering he just wants his gold back. So if you were like, do you know what? All right, there's your gold back. Now piss off.
yeah, but he'd still kill you. But
He might do. He's not very trustworthy. He is very
no,
powerful. Like he's got a lot
yeah,
of powers. So I don't know. Like,
he's
the idea of that fucker messing with you does kind of creep me out.
I mean, it's almost like Wishmaster. He'll grant you a wish, and then your arms and legs fall off or something.
Yeah.
Um, but it's more. I think it's more taking the genre of the time. Do you know the month? It was like, let's put as many horror icons in movies and make them horror icons, I should say.
Yeah.
So we've got evil leprechauns. Warwick Davis does a good job. It was him that brought the humor to that.
Yeah,
To know the quip.
I actually like his performance as the
Yeah,
leprechaun. I think he does a good job.
yeah, we met him in Dublin. He's a lovely man.
Oh, lovely.
Um, Those quips, when he kills somebody, is very much of the time now with Arnie and Stallone and
Yeah.
all doing those quips. Like stick around and Predator. Remember that one?
Yeah.
Yeah. So
Yeah, yeah.
that's what that. When I watched Leprechaun, first you go, "There's Jennifer Aniston before she became famous."
Yeah, yeah. Very
But
young
that's what I
Jennifer
always,
Aniston.
yeah, that's what I always think about is what the quips and how reflective of the time it was.
Yeah.
But he's not. He can do bad stuff to you, but he doesn't really scare me
Yeah,
as such.
I've only seen 1 and 2, and yeah, I wouldn't describe them as scary
Stop there.
movies. Don't say again.
No, I would say stop
All
there. Don't
right.
go any further.
Yeah, I
When you
do.
go to when you go to Leprechaun in space,
Yeah.
seriously.
Yeah.
But that was another thing. I mean, Jason went to space. The only one that didn't go to space was Freddy
It's like
and Michael.
when you ran out of ideas, you put them in space. Although I am
Yeah.
quite fond of Jason X, I have to say.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, it is what it is, and
But you know what? As I said, I think I've said to you before as well. If you can sit in a room and go, I think, know what a good movie would be? A tornado full of sharks.
yeah,
So, do you know what I mean? So there's no such thing as a bad movie. It's just whether it connects with, well, there is such thing as a bad movie, correct that. But it's just whether it hits that nerve of the audience
yeah,
that makes it a cult. And Leprechaun is a cult at the end of the day.
yeah. There's more so in the second one, but there's some creative kills in it.
Yeah. Yeah. It's like,
Uh,
oh, trying to up the ante sort of thing.
yeah. Like
But yeah,
in terms of fear, I don't really feel a whole lot of fear towards the leprechaun. But then again, as I said, if he was a real creature messing with me, I don't know. I might like he's pretty terrifying, and when you think about it, and then he is very powerful. It's not clear just how powerful he is. He seems to be able to do a lot
yeah.
of stuff. All right, what are you
But
going to give the leprechaun?
he was stuck in that cabinet for years and years and years.
Yeah.
Um, he's only powerful if you make a wish. Just remember not to make a wish. I'm gonna go.
Is that not the Wishmaster?
No, sure. Leprechaun gives you three witches. That's an art film. Wishes.
Does he? Are you sure?
Uh, uh, did I not just come back from the mountains of Norway?
All right. I
As
don't.
sure as I went up that bus, and the 8-foot bus, and the road was 2 foot wide. Trust me.
I
Yeah, he grants you wishes, and I think it was more so on the second one.
right. Do you know what? It's been
He's
a
the
while.
trick.
Maybe I need to
Oh, don't worry.
recap.
Well, it wouldn't be ones you'd be rushing back to find out or watch again, like really.
No.
For me, it's a C. He's you wouldn't want to mess with him in real life, but he's not that scary, really.
Yeah, yeah, I think I agree. And then hopefully, like, he only really goes after people who has this gold or gets in the way
Yeah,
of him getting his
yeah,
gold back. So considering that, yeah, I'll go like a high C.
yeah. Go with the C.
We go with the C. Speaking of high seas, you and your holiday
The
now.
high seas, yeah, on the Iona cruiser. It was lovely. It was. Do you know what it is? See, when you're sitting on the boat, and I thought so. The first time it happened, I thought I was having a stroke because there's just like almost like a ripple goes through you when the
Yeah.
ship rocks, and you pause and you go, "Was that the ship, or am I about to have a stroke, or is it vertigo?" And you start going through all these diseases in your head, and then then it rocks again. You go, "Oh, thank God, it's only a ship.
Thank goodness.
Thank goodness."
All right, next we have a human man, but a very scary one. Jack Torrance.
Hmm. Hey, Jack.
Yeah, what do you think of Jack Torrance? Now, obviously, there shouldn't really be much reason for him to kind of fuck about with you.
No,
He's a scary
unless
dude when you're watching the film, though. I find him quite intimidating. Like, if you're that kid in that movie, like your dad's horrifying.
yeah. Or if you're stuck in a ship with him,
Yeah,
you'd be going, "Where's the lifeboat?"
yeah,
Um, for me, that one is very much a psychological thriller because you've got a man who's being almost sacrificed by the evil in the hotel. Do you know what I mean? He's being sucked in. Um, it's more a psychological breakdown thing for me. That one, I mean, you've got the when he hammers. See, but do you know what it is? Do you know? I've always said, do you know what the scariest thing in the world is? People.
Yeah.
People are the scariest thing because
Yeah.
you could be walking down the street and suddenly get a punch in the face, you get knifed, or
Yeah.
it,
Yeah.
it's that scary for me. So what you're seeing there is humanity, the dark side of humanity, and what we're capable of.
Yeah.
Where not even your kids matter or your wife matters, but we know it's a supernatural influence doing that, or sort of picking on not a weakness. I can't think of the word.
Vulnerabilities.
A vulnerability, yeah, in his character and making this happen, so he becomes part of the ghost thingy. Um, but again, it's not his fault. It's the place, it's the location, and they're sealed off. Um,
I would say it's kind of digging into things in him that's kind of there already. So I
yeah,
don't think he's completely like, blameless. I think I'd have to rewatch the movie again, but I think it's to come up with kind of an example. But yeah, I
was he an
think
alcohol?
yeah, he's an alcoholic, and I think it's bringing stuff out in him that's there. I don't think it's all just like outside influence.
Yeah, and somehow it's latching into the dark side of the hotel. But yeah, no, I mean anybody that's running about with an axe or a weapon and it's just an ordinary person and they're completely out of control, for me that's the scariest
Mm,
thing you could really come up against.
yeah,
Yeah, okay, that's real life.
yeah.
But that's why the film works because Jack is he is like that. He's not in real life, like, but you know what I mean. He has that ability to just his whole expression changes because he's such a good actor.
Oh man,
Um,
do you know he was nominated for a Razzie when this came out?
really,
Yeah, it took people a while to come around to his performance. I think he's incredible in the movie.
yeah, oh yeah, yeah, 100%.
Like
But
it,
for me,
it
just
if I was
no,
around
go
him,
ahead.
I'd be terrified. But the only reason I mightn't put him up so high is because I shouldn't really ever be alone with Jack Torrance.
No, you shouldn't be. And they should never have made the sequel. That's another thing.
Right. So what
Yeah,
are you gonna give him?
I'm gonna give him a C.
Yeah,
No, a B.
a B.
No,
Right.
a C. I'll go back to C
C.
because it's
All right.
technically not his fault, but that's the scariest thing. People
So you're going C.
gonna go C.
I'll go C also. I think C is fair for Jack
Yeah,
Torrance.
yeah.
He's a great character and superbly acted.
Mm,
But in terms of fear, he's just not up there with some of the others.
no.
All right, you might
Mhm.
like this one.
Right, go.
The Blob. My
He's not a villain.
it's villains slash monsters. The
The Blob
Blob.
is also a victim of human arrogance and stupidity. Of
Yes, that's.
because they think they can control everything,
Um,
even death.
I mean, it's just a
So
creature doing what it does. Like,
yeah, it doesn't know any different. All it wants to do is eat and grow, and that's it. It doesn't care you're 10 years of age coming out of the cinema or a 60-year-old or anything like that. It's just gonna do what it wants to do. But it's all been humans' fault.
yeah,
So technically, it's a wee victim.
yeah. And
But that said,
my.
wouldn't like to see it coming.
Oh God, no.
No, we're not even watching cinema unless it's a really crap film. Then kill me there. Um, but but yeah, no. To me, the Blob's a great monster because it's so simple in its execution.
Yeah,
There's no big drama or background. It's just a blob, a
yeah,
bowl of jelly that wants to eat you, and
yeah.
it absorbs. It doesn't even eat you. It sort of burns you alive with acid,
Melts you.
so to become part of it.
Yeah, it's a
Yeah,
it's an attempt at a bioweapon, and it goes horribly
Yeah,
wrong. And myself and Owen did a long video on the Blob. Go check that out if you haven't already.
it was awesome.
So, fear factor. How high up
Well,
would you rate the Blob?
the fear factor will have to be an A because it doesn't stop unless it goes to Norway up the mountains and the that I was on with the snow and the snow trolls. There's no chance of getting up there. But like an hour's drive down the hill, I was sunning myself. It was that hot. So the blob, it's most countries are not going to have the snow all year round. So that for me, when they're looking at the projections of how quick it can consume the planet, it can do a pretty good job in a very short space of time.
Yeah, that's
So
pretty horrifying.
that's why for me it's up there because it doesn't see evil. It sees I just want to eat and consume and grow. And if that's at the expense of the human race, then that's grand. It doesn't care.
Yeah, I'm toying around with an A or an S because I find the whole concept pretty fucking horrifying. And as you
Mm.
said, like how fast it can consume and grow, and some of the kills in the film are pretty fucking horrific. Just the
Yeah,
idea of dying like that, and some of them are like still partially alive while they're being dissolved. And it's like, oh
like
man.
like Paul in the doctor's room.
And then how the fuck do you fight it?
Wait.
Like obviously it's yeah, exactly like Paul in the doctor's room. That's a good example.
Yeah.
But like if you encounter it, like it doesn't like cold, but all you can really do is try and run.
Well, hello. I'm dead.
Well, yeah. Unless it just doesn't like the taste of you. Like
Oh, well, that's
no.
probably true. The wife doesn't like it taste me either, so you know what I mean. So it's not really a surprise.
I'm gonna give the blob an S. Boom.
Okay.
Done. I'm jotting them all down to keep track.
Just to
Oh,
remind the viewers, the listeners, actually, I've only got one leg. I have I've a real leg and a fake leg, which is why we're doing all the I die first and disabled jokes, just in case it's all start going woke on us. This is why
well,
I am disabled.
that's what you get for trying to take on a blob.
Oh, well, that's true. I wouldn't be happy on the first kicking car out and the next airplane, something.
Well, you know what they say. You don't have to be the fastest person. You just have to be faster than the slowest person.
Oh, I am a slowest person.
Oh, okay. I'll keep you nearby. So
I'm just going to jump on somebody's back and go, yo, giddy up, giddy up.
giddy up. All right, next another one of our favorites. We also did a video on this. Seth Brundle from The Fly.
Again, victim.
Yeah, like I wouldn't call him a
Not
villain,
his
but
fault.
he's like
No,
he's in the category of, horror movie monsters.
he is, yeah.
And he does start to lose his mind as he goes on. So how
But
frightening do you find the concept of Seth Brundle fly?
the concept is S because you have no control over it. It's like, as we just discussed in the podcast, which you can find up on YouTube, Stephen Carey stories. Awesome. Um, it's a disease. Say, God forbid, I got a disease that I'm never going to fight off. You're subject to that, and there's nothing you can do.
In terms of like the creature itself, we'll say you found out he was, roaming the streets of Belfast. How afraid would you be?
Well, I could
Well, I
say
think you
something, but
should be
I'll get us
afraid.
all lynched.
I think you should be very afraid.
Yeah, I'm afraid of what's roaming the streets of Belfast right now. Never mind Seth Brundle as the fly.
Yeah.
Um, I wouldn't be out the door, but would he attack me? Because he was only out looking to save his Gina and the baby.
Yeah, he's not. He doesn't seem like he's going to go on a killing spree or anything like
Yeah,
that.
he only dissolved your man's arm and his leg because he had pointed a gun at him.
Well, it's because he was an obstacle. Like he was stopping him from
Yeah,
achieving his goal. So he melted his arm and he melted his leg. So yeah, I mean, again, like the blob, the idea of being fucking melted.
yeah, no,
But as you say, he, if you mind your business, let him go on
yeah.
his little fly you way.
Health and safety video of this podcast to people is do not point a gun at a big fly that can dissolve your arm and your leg by vomiting on you.
There you go.
Walk the other way. Mind your business, as Joey Swall said.
Mind your own damn business.
Mind your business.
All right, Brundlefly. Considering
Yeah.
all of that, what do you give him?
I give him a D. No.
A D?
See, I like Brundlefly.
Oh, I think he's
It's
great. It's one of the as we said, it's one of my favorite horror movies. I think it's a great
but it,
character and a great kind
oh, it
of
is.
movie monster. But
But I
considering,
don't think he would hurt us.
yeah, I think we just stay
You
out
know
of
what I
his
mean?
way.
If he just walked past you in the street and you never done nothing, I don't think there's any danger
Yeah.
of anything.
If you bumped into him in your local Supermax and just
Margaret,
stroll on.
yeah, I'd be going, the coleslaw's over there. Thanks very much. The cup of soups. I would say, shit. See, it is this great concept of being totally changed from the inside out by something that you can't control.
That whole thing,
concept
yeah,
of,
that whole concept, yeah. But we're only
yeah,
focusing on the creature itself.
the creature itself, I'm gonna go D
I
because
went
he
with
looks
D,
like,
yeah,
he looks
same.
like the short circuit robot.
He does actually, Johnny 5.
Johnny 5.
Johnny number 5. Oh, I love that movie.
And I think he wouldn't touch me if I was in the house.
Yeah. Unless you were dressed like Gina Davis, he'd probably leave you be.
Which is never going to happen. I don't know
You
if the
mean
hair
never
for
going to
it
happen
anyway.
again?
I never had. I don't have the hair for it. I've lost my curling tongs and my rollers. But sure.
Right, Owen. I think this next one, as we are two writers, I think this one could be potentially really horrifying. Right. Do you know where I'm going?
An agent?
Annie Wilkes.
Oh, fuck Annie Wilkes. Oh, mother of Jesus.
Could you imagine?
Well, if I knew she was buying my books, I wouldn't mind. And she can go ahead and break my left foot because it's not there.
You'd be like, no bother.
Which one? That one foot? Go your head on it, yeah. Where's my cup of tea and my chocolate biscuit? Annie Wilkes is terrifying.
So imagine she had you trapped and she was like, I want the next fucking Time Warriors and I want you to write it like this, not like the shit version I read.
I'm going.
And then
there's a sale. I'd say there's a sale on in Specsavers, love. Go, you get a pair and you read the book again properly. All my stuff's good, all right. Again, snow in this one. Snow is a terrible thing to be caught in.
Yeah.
And again, this one, it's people.
Yeah.
She's not a witch. She's not a demon. She's an obsessed,
fanatical fan.
Yeah.
I mean, I find that concept pretty frightening. The idea of someone being that fucking obsessed and just off their trolley, like.
Well, you see it all the time. Holly Willoughby was one of them.
Oh yeah.
He went off this morning. So some fella was planning to kidnap and murder her.
Oh,
that's why she left.
Jesus.
Who was it? Jodie Foster was on stage.
Wow.
No, it wasn't. It was Drew Barrymore.
Yeah.
Drew Barrymore. It's on YouTube. Drew Barrymore was on stage, and her stalker rushed the stage.
Jesus Christ! It's frightening, isn't it? It's horrifying.
John Lennon.
Yeah.
Murdered by. Do you know what I mean? So it's that. That's the fact that for me, you don't see it coming.
Yeah.
And it's hiding behind the face of a normal person.
That's it. As you said, the idea of like, just a normal like human being, not a supernatural monster. It's scary. The idea of like some of these people could be out there.
Yeah, and you met people throughout your life, and I've met people throughout my life who are so nice to begin with, and turn out to be people you really shouldn't have had in your company in the first place.
Listen, you leave Jack out of this.
Jack, I didn't say that. He was talking about you. That wasn't me. But you know what I mean? You sort of go, Jesus, how did I not see that sort of thing?
Yeah. I've had people in my life like that for sure.
Yeah, so she's a guardian angel to start with until you find out what she's really like. And then there's a whole other side to her on the other side of the door in the photo albums. And that's killing babies as a nurse and stuff. Me see that on TV as well. That, for me, makes Annie Wilkes an S tier.
S for Owen. And
Yeah,
also the idea of
100%.
like, because he has his manuscript and he doesn't have any copies of it, and she makes him burn it. Oh man, my heart breaks from in that scene. Like, could
Oh
you
no,
imagine?
I have everything on about 3 different USBs next to our
Oh,
hard drive.
same. I've things backed up, and the backups are backed up. And
Yeah,
um,
yeah, 100%.
could you imagine
Everything's
spending years
triple,
of your life
quadruple.
working on something and then just setting on? Oh my god.
And you think it would be easy to write again. It's not, because you're caught up in moments. I was doing When Angels Burn on a rewrite the other night, and there was stuff I was adding in. I know I was on a roll, and it wasn't there in the first draft. I thought, wow, gee, that's really good.
Yeah.
Not to blow my own trumpet, but I just thought, well, you sort of just stuff comes to you. You know what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
Stuff
Yeah.
just comes to you. Um, and you mightn't get it again. The stuff will come to me outside, but if I don't write it down, I'll forget.
Yeah.
So it's stuff like that. But yeah, no, it's really important to back up everything. Well,
I
he didn't really have a choice. She was a header.
There you go. I'm gonna give Annie Wilkes an A. I think she's pretty horrifying.
I
A.
know, but see, for me, she's an S because she decided to break his feet,
Right.
because just to make sure he didn't get out to get her book written.
But that'd only be half as painful for you.
Well, that's true. And I won because I'd have beat her to death from the other one. But in the end, no, everything happens for a reason. So in that tragedy of getting your feet broken,
Yeah.
Jesus, I can't even the thought of it, and I haven't got one.
Yeah.
Still makes me cringe. He benefited out of it, so she actually technically did the right thing
Ooh.
for him as a writer.
I think the right thing is pretty not maybe the right way to put it, but yeah.
Yeah, you know what I mean.
Yeah, yeah.
He profited off it.
Yeah. All right, Owen, you're a dirty birdie. Right, you're giving her an
Uh,
S. I'm gonna give her an A.
what was your cackadoodie or something?
Yeah, cock-a-doodie car.
Cackadoodie. I mean, like, really, if somebody came in, if you had a wee shop and somebody came in and went, "Hey, the cockatoo," I'm going, can somebody escort her out? A security thing? You know what I mean, your fucking cockatoo and your whoopie doopie and whatever.
Yeah, and
Fuck off.
it's Kathy Bates, isn't it, the actress?
Kathy Bates, yeah,
Her
awesome.
performance is just so good, and there's points in it where just the look in her eye just sends shivers down my spine.
Yeah, she's brilliant. She got the Oscar for that, didn't she?
I don't know.
I think she did. I haven't even got my laptop open to sort of have a look. I think she got an Oscar for that.
I'll look that up later
If
on.
anybody can check out, just leave it in the comments. Maybe I'm wrong.
Yeah,
I swear.
drop it down below.
Yeah, please do.
All right,
But yeah.
I think this is going to be one of your favorites, Reverend Lowe from Silver Bullet.
Oh, who compiled the list?
I did.
Is it the viewers? Oh, you did.
Yeah.
Reverend Lowe is by far an ST. ST and ST something else. Sorry, folks. But an S tier, because he embodies. Again, he's a victim. I find this with a lot of werewolf characters when I was doing the villains thing, and I sort of was thinking of changing the title from Forgotten Villains. They're victims. They don't really want to be like this. But he is a man that represents the cloth, a pillar of a society, and yet he is consumed by this darkness,
Yeah.
which then twists the beliefs that he is preaching out on a Sunday from the pulpit into a justification for murdering children and pregnant women,
Yeah.
to name but a few. So, and that scene on the bridge where he traps Marty and he starts, the whole speech is terrifying,
Yeah.
because it's all about God's will, and he justifies it to the audience, and it's so good. That's why I thought Silver Bullet was a good one. It was because it's so underrated.
It is for
A lot of
sure, and
people missed it.
I know some
Yeah,
people who have checked it out since our video, so that's always good to highlight
yeah.
some of these hidden gems.
Low is terrifying. He is terrifying because I know I know there's all this thing with a priest, but you can't tar every priest with a one brush. There are lots and lots and lots of good priests. You have bad priests, but you don't have a werewolf priest, which is like eating its congregation. So the fact that he's almost like a wolf in sheep's clothes, to use
Yeah,
that. I hate using that, but for me, Reverend Lowe is 100% an S tier
I thought
because
you.
he's a person.
Yeah.
Um,
Also, I find werewolves pretty terrifying. The idea of this big savage monster that'll rip you apart and you can't reason with it
yeah,
and all that kind of stuff.
or just
Uh,
bite you and then you become one.
yeah, yeah. So for Reverend Lowe, a werewolf priest, it's definitely high. I might not go S just because again, there's ones I would put ahead of him, but not by
Mm,
much. But you know, I'm gonna go A for Reverend Lowe. I think he's a pretty terrifying villain.
yeah, 100%.
All right. So the only one to get a D so far is Brundlefly, and he's one of the best characters on the list in terms of writing. All right, we've one left. One of Nicola's favorites, Chucky from Child's Play.
It's almost like the anti Toy Story, isn't it?
Yeah, and the kid's called Andy as well.
Yeah, I I did I did a story in Zombie Blues called "Don't Call Me Andy Zombie."
Oh
It
yeah,
was about how the zombie is telling about he collect toys like us, and he thought the ending of Toy Story 3 was the most horrific thing he'd ever seen because he gave all his toys away to this child, and I was just don't call me Andy. Um,
that's cool.
uh, Chucky, I think diluted an awful lot.
Yeah,
He was terrifying in the first one because it is that thing about toys coming to life, and if they kill you like that puppet master thing, which
yeah,
it's horrible.
and it's got that
Toys come to life.
element of surprise as well. Like
Yeah, it's
you,
that shock. It's that scene is where the mother's shaking him and going, talk, talk. And he goes, rah, bitch. Um,
I think Chucky's hilarious when he's losing his shit. I think it's
yeah,
so funny.
Brad Dourif is one of my favorite actors. He's just amazing, amazing. He's
What a
done so much good
perfect
stuff.
voice for him. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, have you seen him in the X Files Beyond the Sea? If you saw him in Star Trek Voyager as Mr. Shooter, he had like 3 episodes. He's just stunning,
Yeah,
especially Beyond the Sea. But the Star Trek one's actually very good as well. He's a Betazoid, which can read minds, but he's a serial killer in it. Like in Star Trek, there's no such thing as serial killers, but he is one.
yeah,
And his story arc goes over 3 separate stories. It's very good. But X Files Beyond the Sea, he's just it's mesmerizing for a
yeah,
first season episode of anything. It's amazing, and you can see. And you go, fuck, that's Chucky. And you can see why he's picked as Chucky because he can get into those sort of deep recesses
yeah,
and bring it out. But Chucky is, again, you had the odd quips and everything with Chucky too, when he was killing them. But I was hard to bring him back. Chucky for me would be,
Well, here's the thing as well. Would he want to kill you? I mean, he wants Andy because he wants a new body, and he will kill people who get in his way. But would he? Would he want to go after you for any reason?
oh no,
Probably not.
my body's fucked. I'm all right. I won't even lie. I'm a victim.
Yeah.
I'd be more like Horace Pinker out of Shocker. No, drags his leg along behind him. When he can go to his victim.
I've only seen clips of that. I haven't seen it all.
Shocker is awesome.
Is it worth
Another
watching?
X
Yeah.
Files connection. Yeah, it's on YouTube. I'll send you the thing. It's another X Files because it's Walter Skinner
Yeah,
plays
yeah.
Horace Pinker, and they're so dynamically opposed as characters. But Horace is nuts, absolutely nuts.
Does Wes Craven
Um,
have something to do with that, or am I wrong?
yes, Wes Craven Shocker. Yeah, he did.
Oh, okay,
I can't
cool.
remember where he presented it, or he was no way that sometimes the Wes Craven presents Hills of Eyes and stuff like that. But
Right.
Chucky,
So
yeah,
Chucky.
what color?
I don't think he would want. I don't think he'd have any reason to kill me. So I'm gonna go a
No,
D just for that reason.
we're all right. We're fine.
Yeah.
It's all you able-bodied people that are
Yeah.
screwed.
We're too old, Owen. We're too over the hill. He's not gonna want this.
I'm still going up the hill. Thank you very much.
Sorry, say that again.
I'm still going up the hill. Thank you very much.
Ah, yeah.
I'm reached now.
To be
I'm
fair,
not going down your side yet. I'm only 37.
plus change.
Well, a wee bit of change enough for a wee piggy bank.
Owen doesn't look a day Owen doesn't look a day over 51.
No, I think I'll have to get some hair or something and then pictures. Do you know what I was thinking of dressing up as for Halloween? Michael Knight from Knight Rider.
Oh,
'Cause
brilliant! Oh, do
I
it.
took I took a notion for a watch. You know the Michael Knight watch? Because
Yeah.
I found the dance remix on YouTube and look at Knight Rider. And I went, why don't you get a wee curly wig? And I've got a black leather jacket there and just put a red t-shirt on. I could run about going, kid, let's go.
Oh, do it. Send pictures.
That'd be awesome. That would be awesome. So I think I might do that.
Do you know
But it was
what?
27 quid for the watch.
Oh, right.
It's only a wee toy watch, like, and I thought 27 quid.
My
But it'd be good for the fun of it.
Nicola one Christmas found this absolute little gem. It's a Knight Rider card game, and I'd never seen nothing about that before. And we haven't opened it and played it yet, but I'm so excited. But it's a Knight Rider card game. I'm like, that's so badass.
That's awesome. Knight Rider was brilliant.
Yeah. And the theme song.
Yeah.
Boom, boom,
So I have
boom,
about
boom,
4
boom,
different
boom.
dance versions on my playlist
Yeah.
that I found on the internet.
I'll tell you what, if you dress
What?
up as Michael Knight, send me a picture and I'll crop it, and that'll be your new profile picture for the videos.
David might get jealous, but
That's true. We don't want to risk that.
yeah, I don't want the Hoff coming knocking my door or anything. I'd rather the Blob.
Rather the Blob than the Hoff.
Yeah, the Hoff. Because he's a bit of a diva in real life, I think.
That'll be the next game we'll play. Is we'll pick a villain, and you have to decide.
Somebody told me.
Do you want this villain to come after you or the Hoff? You have to pick villain or Hoff.
Villain. Might as well go out spectacular style.
All right, so Chucky, what are you giving him?
D, because he's not going to want me.
There you go, same D. We are safe. So that is all of our villains. So let's see who fared the best. Oh, it's like a 4-way tie. So
Michael Myers, Pennywise.
Michael Myers got S and A. Pennywise got S and A. The Blob S and A, and Annie Wilkes S and A, and Reverend Lowe S and A. So, well, some scary folks on that list.
But 4 very good films.
Yeah. And as I said
they
at the
are
start,
classics.
this is all very subjective. What scares you might not scare me, and vice versa. So, they are all good villains in their own way. Although some I wouldn't describe as a villain, but you get what I mean.
Yeah.
And let me see. There's two double Ds. We got Brundlefly and Chucky. Not they don't get me wrong, if they were coming after me that'd be very fucking different, but as it stands they have scored the lowest. So, well, thank you so much, Owen, for helping me with our fear list. I hope you enjoy talking about these villains.
They're awesome.
We'll have to get
We'll have to do another one.
Sorry?
We'll have to do another one.
Oh, absolutely. There's so many.
Yeah.
So there's 2 ideas, right? One is another, horror villain tier list. I mean, you could do loads of these. There's so many. And even next time I wanted to dig into maybe some more obscure ones, and if you don't know any, you can just do some Googling, Wikipedia, to help make up your mind. But there's another one where it's you rank this would be really fun. I can't wait to do this with someone, but you rank your odds of survival against different horror villains.
Well, obviously, I haven't got very high odds at the best of times.
Well,
so
there's some where you might be able to defeat them with your intelligence.
Can I have a motorized wheelchair?
Do you know what? We'll get you one.
Or rocket boost crutches.
Well, it's funny you should say that. It's funny that Owen should say, could I have this? Because once per game, you can roll a dice for a bonus weapon against any particular villain. And you might get something useful, you might not. And that would make it really fun. So you might get a motorized wheelchair. You might get a chainsaw.
Back to the head.
So you might be able to defeat them with the powers of your mind.
That could happen.
It could happen. So we might do one of those two next. All right, Owen, remind these lovely folks who've been just clamoring for your return where to find you and your work.
April, I'm back. It's okay. You can all relax and calm. I'm not going anywhere until my next holiday. But yeah, if you look Google Time Warriors and Beyond for the website, where you find loads of villains and heroes and monsters and
Yeah, Owen
um,
does lots of articles on you do your like forgotten villains and underrated villains and that kind of stuff, don't you? Articles on them.
or sympathetic characters from horror, which I'll talk about to you afterwards. Twitter, Instagram is at the Irish Author, and Instagram, no, not Instagram. Twitter is Irish Author, the Time Warriors.
And you can follow me at Stephen Carey Stories on Instagram, and there'll be links in the description. If you enjoyed this and you want to see more horror villains slash monsters tier list, give a like and subscribe. And drop in the comments suggestions for the next one.
Oh yeah,
There's
yeah.
there's loads to get through. So we'll be doing more of these for sure. All right, Owen. Anything else to say before we vominos?
Nice to be back.
It's good to have you
Good,
back. You were well
good
missed.
crack is normal. And we were saying before we came on air, we should have done one when I was on the ship,
Yep.
and we never even thought of doing it. I'm like, it's next time. So next time I'm away somewhere, we can do one like an international one.
Yeah. Take some pictures and we put them up on screen, and
Yeah.
we'll do an
So a bit of crack.
international. Just not somewhere with a ridiculous time zone difference because I'm not staying up too late. I need my beauty sleep.
No, it's only an hour difference between Ireland and Norway.
Oh,
I
perfect.
thought it was going to be more. It was just an hour.
Yeah. Oh, that's dead on. All right, everyone. We'll be back again soon. Bye bye.
Right, bye, folks.